Amazing, amazing attendance. We've got 17, 18 participants already on the call tonight. Phenomenal, phenomenal. So as you guys all know, some of you might be new on this call. My name's Oliver Grimbley. I'm a Sapphire In Jeunesse right now, working towards Diamond. There's not one in Africa yet, so the race is on. And we have a promo at the moment, which is just launched, called Unleash Your Potential. And it's quite phenomenal because you can win literally up to $6,000, even $8,000, $10,000, depending on what rank you achieve in Jeunesse in the next 2 months. And it's very, very achievable. So what I want to do is I want to start out with a story about, how I basically got into Jeunesse and what happened in my first month, and let you know that I've actually helped somebody else do the same thing, literally in a month period too. So it's real. So I was traveling the world with an entrepreneur. A lot of you might have heard of him by the name of JT Fox for 8 months. Then I moved on to another entrepreneur who resonated more with me, named Peter Sage, and he introduced me to Jeunesse. And when I saw the product and the company and everything, the first time I was actually in Singapore, in Malaysia, I wasn't very interested because I was quite a skeptic about network marketing. But when Peter mentioned it, I realized I should listen because, he knows a thing or two about business, if any of you know who he is. And I had a look at it. I saw the numbers. And when you see that a company's done $1 billion in 6 years, that's significant and it's something to look at. And long story short, the rest is history. I got started with Jeunesse and literally in my first 28 days earned well over 100,000 Rand in just my first month. And a lot of people say, how the hell is that possible? Well, I did work at full time. So if you guys are on this call and you have a full-time job, that's definitely, obviously not something that you necessarily can push yourself to do. But doing that full time, I managed to earn that income in my first month. But I actually met a lady by the name of Amelia Budenstein, who's also a Sapphire now in South Africa, one of 8. And she worked with me and she applied the strategies, which I'm going to share with you now. And literally, we were on the phone every day. We were talking every day. I was guiding her through it. I was helping her. And in that month that she ran for Sapphire, she won this $6,000 bonus, which is now on the table for everyone in South Africa. And, we only had about 30 days, I think, when Amelia was running for it. Now we've got literally almost 2 months, 55 days we have from today to qualify for the Sapphire promo. But here's the amazing thing is we had, I believe, just Sapphire, if I'm correct. Now you can literally win cash prizes if you just hit Jade, if you hit Pearl, if you hit those lower ranks and you miss Sapphire, you're still going to win yourself, a nice chunk of cash. So this is money on the table. And I tell people when there's money on the table, take it. Don't leave it. It's not something that you necessarily want to just, let go. If it's there to be taken, why not take it, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just share my screen, and basically I'm going to show you guys a Sapphire chart, right? And a Sapphire chart is what you all should have. You should print this. So I'm just going to bring this up for you. So you should print this because this will really help you to visually see what it is that you need to achieve to get to Sapphire. So if you guys can see the screen right now, there's these little gray kind of brownish blocks, if you will. There's 6 at the top and 6 at the bottom. That represents your front line. Okay, so that means if you personally enroll somebody in the business, you sponsor them with 100 CV or more. Remember, everyone you enroll has to enroll at 100 points or higher to be counted as a distributor. So just remember that. So in other words, focus on the basic pack or more. Don't try sign up people on 409s unless they're a salon or a business that only wants to order ageless and they're not interested in really building to get executive or to get Jade or to get Sapphire. They just want to retail the product. That's fine. That's a different situation. You can sign them up as a associate, which is 409 Rand, and then they can just order their 10 or 20 or 100 boxes a month anyway, which will make them a distributor eventually. But what you really want to do in Jeunesse is you actually want to find those people that want to run with you, that want to build a network, people that are hungry, people that are maybe hate their job, people that have a why. You know, a bigger why than a how will always result in results. So somebody that has kids that they need to send to school, or they have huge amount of ambition. Think of those people, the most successful people you know, the hungriest people you know. Those are the people you want to contact, right? And when you look at this chart, these are the 12 people you want to sponsor frontline. And what you want to do is you want to sponsor them on 100 to 500 CV. The higher the pack, the better, because you also need volume to qualify for these promotional bonuses. So let's say in the top left-hand corner here, in this light brown box, I sponsor somebody on an ambassador pack. They are now a distributor. They've got more than 100 points. I've got one distributor in my network. My goal, and this is the strategy I use, you guys can write this down, is sign up 4 people frontline. So 1, 2, 3, 4 every single day. You want to try just enroll, get yourself to 4 distributors. Okay. The moment you've signed up 2 distributors, you become an executive. That's the first rank. No cash prize yet for reaching exec. So if you're on this call and you haven't signed up 2 people, that is your first goal. Sign up 2 people, 1 in my left leg, 1 in my right leg. Once you've sponsored 2 people, you become an executive, right? As soon as you've sponsored 4, right? Now what I want you to do before you go sponsor 5, 6, 7, and 8, help those 4 each get 2. In other words, get those 4 distributors to executive. And that's what this sheet will help you do. So do you see how visually these brown or light brown boxes represent the 12 distributors that you need to reach Sapphire? Because if you get 12 distributors and make them all exec, so you need 12 executives and you're a Sapphire. That's all you need to do, is just sponsor somebody, work at 4 at a time, guys. Don't work more than 4 at a time. So sponsor 4, and then out of those 4 people, now I'm going to say, let's say in my top left-hand corner, I sponsor John. I'm going to call John and say, John, firstly, get on Momentum. Most important step. If you're not on Momentum, guys, you need to get on Momentum, right? It's like trying to go play tennis and you've never had a tennis lesson against somebody that's been training. You're going to get your ass kicked. So Momentum is going to train them. It's going to get them ready to actually perform in this industry. Once they've got that, they've got their list, you tell them, listen, who do you know who we can sit down with, we can have a coffee with, we can get on a call with immediately, we can get to a meeting, we can get to a webinar and talk about getting them in the business. Help them get their first 2. That's your job as a leader. It's not only to recruit, but it's to help the people you recruit get their first 2. As soon as you've done that, you've got an executive, and you only need executive. This business is just about getting to Sapphire and helping other people get to Sapphire. That's it. So help people in, but once they're in, don't leave them. Help them get their first 2 people. Okay. So once you've basically got John in, meet with him, have a coffee with him and some of his contacts, get them on a Skype call, connect with me or your upline Sapphire or Jade or Pearl, and get those people in the business. One on their left, one on John's right. And that's where you're going to write the name. So in the blue lines here on the screen at the top where it says left and right, that represents the left and right leg of the block beneath, whoever the distributor would be beneath there. Does that make sense? So you only need 4 executives and you're a Jade. That's it. So in other words, you just need to sponsor 4 people, help them each get 2. If you do that before the end of May, which is 55 days time, right? That's literally, what's that? 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks basically. So you need 4 executives. It's not even 1 a week. It's very, very achievable. Every single person on this call, even if you're working part-time, if you just do an hour a day, literally, and you follow the DMO system in Momentum, where you're contacting 3 new people every day, following up with 2, you should definitely reach Jade. Definitely. And if you reach Jade, the company will pay you $500 bonus. That's about, with our Rand, that's about, 15 to 1. So you're looking at an 8,000 Rand bonus, in addition to whatever you would earn for sponsoring, the distributors, the direct commission, the cycles, everything. So you're going to earn a $500 bonus just if you get 4 executives. Okay. If you get 8 executives. In other words, if you go and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the top here, write down 2 more at the bottom, and you help those 8 executives each get 2, you will win $1,000. So now we get 15,000 Rand just as a gift for getting 8 executives. A little bit more of a challenge, but still very, very realistic, even if you're working part-time, in my opinion. Okay. And guys, this is what you do. You focus on getting people in the business and you sponsor them. And the ones that already have one. So let's say you've already got a distributor and they've already got one person in either their left or their right side, but they haven't got the other person. Those are the first people you want to contact. So those are the people you want to pick up the phone, give a call and say, hey, John, listen, I noticed you got one in your left, or I noticed you got one in your right. You only need one more to go exec. How can I help you? And see if you can get that person exec, because that's less work. Does that make sense? Instead of sponsoring one and then helping them to get 2, which is essentially 3 people, you only need to help somebody just get one person and you've got that one exec. So focus on contacting the people that want to work the business. The ones that don't really want to work and they don't want to sponsor anyone at all, they just want to use the product, those aren't the people you want to focus on. You want to work with people that want to sponsor people. Those are the people you want to work with. However, let's say you've got 11 executives and you need the 12th one and it's the 29th of May and the promo literally ends in 24 hours. $6,000, or let me give away, 1 or 2 people to help me get my 12th exec. That's a different story. I would definitely do that because of the $6,000 bonus. So if somebody has one person, or, let's say they don't have any people and they're not motivated, I wouldn't recommend giving away people. It's not something I would advise, because if you know how the matching bonus works, you earn less commission of somebody that's not frontline to you. So, but if you're working for that bonus and somebody doesn't have 2 people and they have bought a basic pack, and if they get 2 people, they will help you to qualify as a Jade or a Sapphire or a Pearl, and the bonus is coming towards the end. So I don't recommend doing this unless it's near the end. Try get there organically. But if you're pushing towards the end of the promo and you just need that 1 exec or that 2 execs, call the distributor and say, listen, if you get 1, I'll give you 1. So if you go out there and you sponsor 1 person in your left, I will sponsor somebody in your right for you. Does that make sense? So you basically going to get to, you're going to win the bonus, you're going to help somebody else get to exec, as long as you know that that person that you're giving away to somebody, they're going to at least work with that person, right? So don't give away somebody to somebody that isn't going to work the business at all, because if the person gets given away, they're going to feel like they weren't important and they weren't valued. So if you do decide to give somebody away, just make sure it's, to somebody that is actually going to work with them and help them, and there's a good synergy there. But I would only do that if you really need to, towards the end of this promotion. Okay, so that's that, guys. It's very, very simple. Print this form, have it visually on your vision board, if you will, on the wall. Have it where you can see it. Every time you sponsor somebody, write their name in one of these blocks, one of these 12 brown blocks. And then you can visually see, okay, cool, who's in their left, who's in their right. Once they've got their 2, put a tick, move on. As if you can just get 4 execs, you're going to win $500. If you get 8, you're going to win $1,000. And if you get 12, it's $6,000. Okay. Not to mention that if you just get to Jade or above, we are going to add you to a special group where you get invited to calls with diamonds every Tuesday night. We just got off that call now. There's about 8 of us currently on that call, and we want to get those numbers up, because when you're on that call with those diamonds, you're getting information from multi-millionaires. So that's really the goal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pull up my my back office to show you guys the mail, and then you can actually see where you can go visually see these promos, things like that. And then if you have any questions, please type them in the chat box, because at the end of this training, I'm going to answer anyone's questions. Okay. Cool stuff. Okay, I'm just logging into my business for you guys. Okay. So if you log into your business, There's an option that says mailbox at the top of the screen, right? And if you click on mailbox in there every day, that's where Jeunesse sends important info, specifically with regards to promotions for Orlando, promotions for the Sapphire promotion and everything. And I don't know if you guys know, but the Orlando Expo is in October. And the qualifying period is also from the 1st of March all the way through, I believe it is the end of July. So in other words, everything you're pushing towards now in the next 2 months, April, May, for the Sapphire promo, everyone you sponsor, all the travel points you're earning are counting towards you winning a trip to Orlando at the end of the year. So if you're actually getting double rewards here. So for everything we're doing, we're actually earning travel points. Every time we sponsor a basic pack, it's 5 points. And the ambassador pack's 25 points. If you guys just get 85 points, you've won a ticket to the event in Orlando, Florida, and a ticket to Disney World already. You know, if you want to start, you're looking at 300 points, you've won an expo ticket, a ticket to Disney World, and 4 nights accommodation in a 5-star hotel. It's incredibly easy to qualify for this if I look at the numbers, specifically if you're pushing for the Sapphire promo. So you guys could look at, you know, at the end of May, having a ticket to Orlando. You know, if you have enough travel points, you could win a hotel stay, even an airfare voucher. Go into your back office, click mailbox, read up on the Orlando promo, because that should be a goal for everyone who's serious at the end of the year. Turn it into a holiday as well. Go to Disneyland, take your family or take your significant other. And that will be a transformational event. Whoever you can get to that event in your team is literally going to be an asset to you because of what they're going to learn and how they're going to get inspired at those events. Okay. But this promo has just come out at the perfect time. So I'm going to just share my, share the screen just to show you guys quickly the promo. And then I'm going to end this so that you guys can just ask questions. Okay, cool stuff. Let me just get this. So the promo's name is called Unleash Your Potential. If any of you guys haven't read about it, Jeunesse did send out an email. Okay, I'm going to post the link now in the chat box for any of you that haven't actually read this, because you need to go read up on it yourself in order to understand it just a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again, and this is going to help you guys to visually see exactly what you have to do to get on this promo. Okay, share screen. Okay, cool stuff. So if you guys have a look here. So this is the promotion. It's called Unleash Your Potential. As I've said, we've got until the 31st of May. So what I want everyone to do, if you just want to write this down quickly, is write down what you want to achieve by the end of May. So if you want to be a jade, write that down. If you want to be a pearl, write that down. If you want to be a sapphire, write that down. Okay, just quickly, just write it down. So I'm going to just show you how to work backwards here, very simply. Next thing is, if you want to be a sapphire, that means you need 12 executives. So write that down, 12 executives. If you want to be a jade, pearl, you need 8 executives. If you want to be a jade, you need 4 executives. So you should have 12, 8, 4. Makes sense? Okay, so now if you need 8 executives, or if you need 12, or if you need 4, break that down over the course of the next 7 weeks. In other words, if your goal is to be a pearl and win the $1,000 bonus, that means that you've literally got a sponsor. In 7 weeks, you need 8 execs. So if you currently don't have any execs, that's basically just over 1 per week. And now what I want you to do is I want you to double whatever it is the expectation is. In other words, if I need to get 1 exec a week to hit my goal, I'm going to aim for 2. That way, You don't come up towards the end of this promo and say, I've only got 5 days, I've only got 10 days left, and I'm not going to make it. So the biggest mistake you can make is think you guys have time, because life always happens and it's too late and you're not going to hit the promo. I guarantee it. Not going to happen. The key is trying to say to yourself that I'm going to hit the promo by the 75% mark. Okay, so halfway through the promo, by the end of April, you should already be 75% towards achieving your goal. So in other words, 75% of the 8 would be 6 people basically. You've already got to have 6 of your 8 execs by the end of this month. If you're a Sapphire, you already want to have 8 of your 12 by the end of April. Done. That means that you've got now a bit of breathing room to get those last 4 execs in May. You don't want to be under pressure coming up to the deadline. You want to comfortably reach your goal. But to do that, you got to know what you have to achieve on a weekly basis. Does that make sense? So guys, break it down. Say to yourself, do I want the 1,000? Do I want the $6,000? But be realistic. If you're only going to put an hour in a day, look at Pearl and look at Jade. To get to Sapphire, to be dead honest with you, you're going to be having to make at least 20 phone calls a day. That's my opinion. 20 phone calls a day. If you're doing 10 calls a day, very realistic to do Pearl. Jade, very easily if you're doing even 3 to 5 calls a day. So you have to really put yourself out there and understand what it's going to take to reach those targets. Make it real and measurable. So if you have the numbers, you know what you have to achieve every day. As long as you do that, you're going to get those results. But if you're just hoping and wishing that you're going to hit the target and you're going to start whenever, it's not going to happen. So make it real. What you write down becomes real. Cool stuff. So work towards that and you'll hit it. So if you see the screen here, if you reach Jade, you also need PVGV. Do you see that? So that stands for personal group volume. Those points only come from people that you've sponsored directly and the downline. So people in your network. Doesn't come from spillover, from above. It doesn't come from anywhere else. It comes from people you've sponsored. And you can't earn all these points from one person either. So in other words, if you got one person in your business that's performing and you think that all those points will count towards you earning the bonus, that's not going to happen. I think you can earn a max of 25% or something of the points from one position towards those points. So you need to be earning those points from multiple different positions. Otherwise, everyone would just win these bonuses and Jeunesse would go out of business. So what I'm trying to say is focus on sponsoring higher packages. If you guys can do an ambassador pack, you're going to get 500 of those 3,600. If you're just sponsoring basics, you see how that's only a 36 of the volume. It's only 100 out of the 3,600 you need. So it's a lot easier if you're sponsoring people on a higher package. And trust me, people buy the ambassador pack. I think Amelia sold 15 in her first month. I also did somewhere around there. So, people look at it, and if you position it as this is a business, how much does it cost to start a normal business? $1 million, $2 million to buy McDonald's, $5 million, 5 million rand, whatever the case may be. This is only 15,000 rand for a business. People need to understand this is a full-on fledged business that they're buying. So if you can communicate enough value, 15,000 rand is not a lot of money, especially when you're getting over 20,000 rand worth of product on the ambassador pack. The real fee is only 409 rand, and that includes your back office infrastructure, everything, wallet, account, your website. So 409 rand is really what they're paying for the business. The rest is all product, and they can sell that anyway at retail and make a profit or use it, whatever the case may be. So as long as you can communicate enough value to the person, they're going to buy the pack. So aim high and drop if you have to, but don't start with this business is so cheap, it only costs 409 rand to join. It doesn't look good, and it's not going to attract the right people. You want to go out there and look for the people that want to start a business, want to spend the big bucks if possible. Go in there and say, listen, to start a business properly, if you're really looking at this, the ambassador pack's what you want. It's 15,000 rand. It's the best pack, best value for money. It's going to put you in the best position to start. You're going to get more CV. They're going to get more products. They're also going to be more committed because they've put more skin in the game. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for serious people, and you guys should be as well. We don't want people that are just going to put in the $3,000 and then, not really even focus on Jeunesse. It's not going to help. You want the people that are going to focus and build your business. And it doesn't take 1,000 people. It just takes 6. You need 6 sapphires to be a diamond, and the average diamond makes over $1 million a year. So it's really, really achievable. You just got to go out there and do it. Okay. So if you look here, Pearl, you need 7,000 PGV. So not only do you need those 4 execs, but you need the points. So you got to get those points going in. And again, that does count from the people you sponsor to. But again, if you sponsor somebody and they do nothing, there's no points going through your business. So make sure when you sponsor them, they're on Momentum. Because if they're on Momentum, they're very likely to now actually be motivated, understand what they need to do, they're going to learn how to build their list of contacts, get out there and actually do something. Sapphire, you need 45,000 points. Okay. And it's a significant amount of points. If you sponsored 12 executives and they all signed up with basic packs, and everyone they signed up also joined with basic packs, you wouldn't make this. You would probably make the Pearl bonus, but you wouldn't get the Sapphire bonus. Because you can divide 100 CV into 15,000 is not going to make it. But if you're getting ambassador packs at 500 each, or the Pearl pack at 300, and they sponsoring a couple people on ambassador packs, definitely the volume accumulates and you can reach those targets. Amelia did it, I did it, and we did it in 30 days. You guys have got 55 days from today. So as I said, don't wait, put a plan together, work backwards, know what you have to achieve. Every time you sponsor somebody, you're getting travel points towards Orlando as well at the end of the year. So technically we're working at 2 promotions right now at the same time. I don't think this will happen again. I don't know if Jeunesse even knows that we're the only country right now pretty much in the world that has a huge advantage over all the other countries, because we've got this promo going and we've got the Orlando promo. Does that make sense? So guys, make sure you print your Sapphire form, set your goal, make it visual, know what you have to work towards every day, know how many calls you need to do a day. Set time aside, block out time in your day, make this a priority. I do it first thing in the morning. I just get it out of the way. First thing I do is I do Jeunesse. Jeunesse is done. Cool. Now I can do everything else, because this is working on my financial freedom. This is going to bring me the lifestyle where I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. I have what I want. I have that lifestyle. That's what we all want, right? Do what you have to do after that. If you can't do it first thing in the morning, whenever, do your calls in the evening, 7 to 9 at night. I usually do calls. Everyone answers the phone. It's when, people have finished doing their thing, looking after the kids, whatever the case may be. But you have to do it consistently. If you miss a day, that habit gets set and it just gets easy. Don't break the chain. Even if it's just 3 calls, 5 calls, be realistic. How much time can you put in? Make it happen. Okay. So there's a lot of money on the table here, guys. And you know what? If you shoot for Pearl and you hit Jade, you don't lose, because you're still getting 8,000 Rand. If you shoot for Sapphire and it doesn't happen, you nearly get there, you're still getting 15K, 15,000 Rand, nice in your bank account. So at least you're getting it. Whereas me and Amelia, if we didn't hit that Sapphire rank, it was 0, no money, sorry, nice try. So there's really nothing to lose here, guys. You're going to get rewarded for any of these ranks that you hit. Definitely, realistically, everyone on this call, literally everyone, should hit Jade. There's no reason why you shouldn't hit Jade, and you should easily do it by the end of April, if not definitely by the end of May. So if you want to hit Pearl and you want to hit Sapphire, I'm telling you now, if you haven't hit Jade by the end of April, it's not going to happen. So just make that your goal. Say by the end of this month, I've got to be minimum Jade to even have a shot at achieving Pearl or achieving the Sapphire rank. And if you want to be Sapphire, I would say you need to be Pearl by the end of April. So now you have some idea of what you need to achieve, what you have to do. I'm going to answer some questions, and I'm going to actually open up the line. If you guys want to raise your hand to actually speak, you're welcome. There's a little button there where you can click raise hand if you would rather talk than me just answer the text question. And I have recorded this, so I'm going to send it out, and you can send this to your teams, to your downline. And as I said, I have a goal audio recording from Diamond Paula Pritchard, which I'm going to share as well. And you guys can listen to that. The importance of having goals and focusing on your goals is obviously crucial, and it's quite an inspirational call. She talks about how she actually manifested a house, which she had on her vision board, and she didn't even realize she was living in it. So it was quite amazing, an amazing call, and I will email that out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to answer questions. If any of you are on the call and you're thinking, oh, I've heard it now, I'm off, don't log off, because it's a lot of times when you hear the questions that, you actually learn a lot as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to make the call live. For those of you who want to talk, just want to let Amelia come on and say a couple of words. Amelia, are you there?
Yes, I'm unmuted. Hey.
Brilliant.
You can hear me, Ollie?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Amelia, can you just share, because you're the only other person on this call that has actually achieved the Sapphire rank and won the bonus. So you know exactly what this takes. You've done it. You've been there. You've earned well over 100,000 Rand in just that 30-day period, which was a phenomenal story considering, the situation you were in, where you had a lot of bills and debts to pay at the time, and you were working, I believe, multiple jobs. So it was a very inspirational story. I know a lot of people on this call know that, but you did it at the end of the day. And if you could just share what you think are, the key nuggets that everyone on this call needs to know, because that's money that could literally, I'm sure, change a lot of people's, lives. Over 100,000 Rand in a month could help a lot of people on the call. So listen, guys, and take notes.
Yeah, thank you, Ollie, for giving me the moment to do this. I can say that I was excited, but I was also terrified, I must say, anxious. On one stage during the period to qualify for a Sapphire, I thought I'm never going to make this, because besides the fact that you need to get your 12 executives, you also need to get the volume going through your business. And at that stage, I had some people doing very, very well. And I actually realized that, okay, I no longer actually benefit from those points because like Oliver mentioned earlier, that there's a cutoff percentage. And I think it's about 30%, Ollie, that you can, or a third of those points that will help you to qualify. So yeah, what I did is, especially the last week as well, I went to Oliver's house. Actually, we sat there on his stoop and just continuously made calls. Like I don't even remember how many calls I made. I just wanted to make it. That's all I knew. And so I did the calls. I did everything that I had to do. I remember we had a live event that evening. I was sitting there. His parents left the property. I said to Oliver, "You're not going to announce me as a Sapphire if I didn't qualify." And I think it was about 7:30 that night. I qualified as a Sapphire. I was so excited. And guess what? I couldn't get off their property because it was all closed up. So I had to walk down their garden and found somebody that lived on the property to actually open up the gate for me. So yeah, it was very exciting. And I can tell you, you that are on this call tonight and has joined the team you're fairly new distributors, you actually got better tools than me and Ollie had. You've got Momentum that is actually teaching you every day how to do this business. You don't always need our leaders to hold your hand. Yes, it's important to ask us questions and what have you, but you actually got the answers right in the palm of your hand now, currently with Momentum in your hand. So that will help you. And then, yes, this bonus is absolutely fantastic, because if you're just an exec at the moment and you rank Jade, you're going to get some money. Me and Ollie, if we didn't make it with our 12 execs, and if we didn't make it with our volume, the PVG points, then yeah, nice try. You didn't make it. Or wow, you've made it. So all I can tell you is that it's diligence. And tonight we've heard from a diamond in this company, Paula Prichard again, is that she says that consistency is key. And that's exactly what they teach us on Momentum, is that every day you should phone, well, they only talk about 3 or 4 people, but I'm telling you, to run for Sapphire in 60 days is a challenge. Don't let one day go past that you don't call people and get people to sign up. Now, what I can also tell you is that often you need to introduce or expose the people to the opportunity several times. They don't always sign after you spoke to them once, okay? So that's why you need to talk to more people now per day, and you will find that maybe on day 10 or day 12, 3 or 4 people sign up in your business. And it's not by accident, it's because you worked the previous 10 or 12 days, you've worked hard. Okay, so consistency is key. And now, even if you spoke to 5 or 6 people per day now, you need to double that, or even, talk to more people per month, per day, to make your target as a Sapphire, or as a Jade, or Pearl, whatever your goal is. But this is a stunning opportunity, and I'm sure that you would all have the dollars in your pocket as well. It is the greatest feeling. There's so many new doors opening up for you when you rank higher. Even tonight, I heard, me and Ollie need to rank as Sapphire Elites. So it's quite a challenge for us as well. But you know what? That is what we want to reach. And of course, our end goal is to reach Diamond. But we need to do the small little steps in between. You're not going to become Diamond if you don't set your goals now, today, to reach it by, the end of May or whatever rank you want to reach. Take your little steps in between every day and do that diligently, and you will get the results. I got the results. Oliver got the results. And what did we do? We've aligned ourselves with the successful people. I've surrounded myself, of course, with Oliver. I've rocked up at his gate. I'm less there now, hey, Ollie? I'm not on your neck that often anymore. But I think I used to drive him crazy. But I got my goal. And that was I can just tell you, it's the most rewarding feeling and most rewarding experience that you can have, because you've worked hard, you got what you wanted, and that sets the path for greater achievement in future.
Yeah, fantastic, Amelia. Thank you so much. And just to give everyone an idea quickly, think about it: 180,000 Rand if you hit Sapphire, right? Plus the commissions, plus the matching bonus, you're going to earn over 100,000 Rand in that period. Most people earn, on average, I think in South Africa in a corporate job, probably 20 to 30,000 Rand a month. I'm just guessing. So that's literally almost more than half a year's income in just over a month or a month and a half period. And we're not going to get this opportunity where there's going to be these cash bonuses on the table again for at least another year. I can guarantee you that. They don't come often. So when they're here, this is the time to take advantage of them, because you're going to get the reward for the hard work. Instead of making up your mind later and saying, well, I'm going to work hard now, and you're not going to get rewarded for it. Rather work hard now for a month and a half and put in the time, because you're getting paid to put in the time by Jeunesse, but then you're getting a bonus as well. It's almost like you're getting overtime. So I tell people that, and there's one thing you can control in this business. So everyone who's listening on this call needs to write this down. This is very important. The only thing you can control in this business, and it will be directly relational to your success, is how many people you talk to. That's all you can control. You can't control anything else. You can't control whether they join, whether they don't join. You can't control whether they think it's great or whether they think it's not great. What their decision is, you cannot control. but you can control how many people you show the business. And the success is in the show. That's where the money is. That's where the success is. This is a numbers game. This is the law of averages. It's a universal law, just like the law of gravity. If you speak to 10 people tomorrow about Jeunesse and you show them the Instantly Ageless video and do a demo, guaranteed, even if you have the worst, pitch in the world, one of those people is going to join your business. Guaranteed. That's the statistics. That's the numbers. And if one isn't joining your business, you need to speak to your upline, because then there's something seriously wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, go out there and let the universe work in your favor. The law of averages will always prevail, which means just show the business. If you just show the business to as many people you can on a daily basis as possible, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get the numbers. You're gonna sign people up. And on a phone call, literally, Adrian asked a question: how many calls should I aim to make in 4 hours, including follow-up calls? So Adrian is somebody who's got 4 hours a day to do Jeunesse. That's quite a lot of time. Definitely, Adrian, you can hit Sapphire with that time. Okay, 4 hours a day. In those 4 hours, literally, what I would be doing, Adrian, is you working towards Sapphire Elite, which means 70% of your time, if not more, 75% of your time, 3 out of those 4 hours needs to be focused on signing people up. An hour I would be using to help the other people that you've already signed up, to help them get their people, to get them to exec, right? So I would literally be spending 3 hours a day phoning people. And if I'm spending an average of 3 minutes on a call, we should be getting between 10 and 20 phone calls in an hour. That's it. Remember, we're not phoning to have a conversation. We're simply phoning to pique interest, create a lot of urgency on a phone call. We don't have a long time to chat. We have an incredible business opportunity. I would love to share it with you. You're the type of person who I think would really excel at this. Let me send you a short 5-minute video and I'll give you a call later tomorrow. What time is good for you? Get a commitment. If you haven't mastered the script, guys, it's very difficult. This is why Momentum is crucial. This is why you need the GoPro audio CDs and the GoPro book. If you don't have it, I posted the audio CDs on Team South Africa yesterday. Should be listening to those CDs. Mindset is crucial. It's everything in this business. You're only as good as your mindset. So listen to the GoPro audio CDs. Make sure you've gone through all the 14 videos on Momentum. And you've got your list, and then it's just a matter of the numbers. If you're just contacting a certain amount of people every day, you're going to hit that rank. If you want to hit a higher rank, you've got to contact more people. Let's see if there's any other questions. What did I do? Okay, cool. So I did 20 calls a day, but I kept that consistent. So I was doing over 100 calls a week, and I was signing up 10 people on average per week. So Sapphire is 32 people in your business, because it's 12 who each have 2. I think is that a bit more, hey? 36.
36, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the numbers. If you're working on a 10% ratio, you need to get 36. In other words, you need to speak to 360 people in that period that you want to qualify. So 360 people, do the mathematics, 360 people divided by 7 weeks, that's how many people you need to speak to a day. So you guys figure out how many people you need to speak to a day and make sure you're doing it and following up, Adrian. So if I need to speak to 20 a day to reach that 360, that means that I've got to be doing my follow-up calls in addition as well if it's the next day. So I could be making anywhere from 20 to 40 calls in a day, depending on the scheduled follow-up call. Correct. But whatever happens, I never do less than 3 calls a day. That's just my... even if I feel sick, if I have a cold, if one of my best friends passed away, it doesn't matter. I will make 3 phone calls, because I know that 3 calls a day over a period of a year is 1,000 people. And if just 10% of 1,000 people join my business, I have 100 people in my network. And if those 100 people are in Momentum and on this training, if just 10% of those, in other words, 10 people go Sapphire, I'm already a diamond. I only need 6 sapphires to go diamond. So it's a numbers game. That's really what it is. And the average diamond has 100 people sponsored in their business. So that just gives you guys an idea of, you know, what you need to aim for if you really want to go all the way with this business. 100 people in your network. And as long as they're on Momentum and you can only find 6 to 10 of those that really want to run with you, that's all you need. You don't need 100 people to become a diamond. You only need 6. And you need 6 really committed, ambitious, driven people. But the only way you're going to find those if you go mining for the diamonds, which means you've got to speak to people every single day. The success is in the show. So I hope that helped. Adrian said, would it be advisable to make your list after hours? Make your list. Make your list ASAP. If you haven't made your list, that's the first thing you want to do. And yes, written down, I agree. I like that. I'm a bit old school. I would rather write it down. It does take more time, but it's worth it. Trust me. Otherwise, put it in Excel. And I literally don't go from one name to the next, Adrian. I categorize the list. And that's in Momentum. If you guys go to business number 4, video number 4 in Fast Start, it's called business model. And then Paula talks about categorizing your list. Go watch that video and it'll clarify that for you, Adrian. And then, yes, in the evenings, I do calls. Usually from 7 to 9 p.m. I find is a very good time. But generally, anytime after 5 p.m., most people are off work, so you're going to reach them. And then the mornings, the best time I find is between 8 and 10 in the morning. So if any of you want to know, you know, when's a good time to call. But again, you know, if I've got to make 10 calls to get 3 people answered, that means I've only made 3 calls. Doesn't count that you've made 10 calls if somebody doesn't answer the phone. Just want everyone to know that. So those numbers are all answered phone calls. So if I'm aiming for 20 calls a day, I might make 60 calls if I have to get 20 conversations in and send out 20 emails. It only counts what results I get. It doesn't count if somebody doesn't answer the phone. I hope that just clarifies that. Sundays included. When I was running for Sapphire, Adrian, and there was 100,000 Rand on the table, yes, I didn't care what day of the week it was. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if somebody answers their phone, clearly they want to talk. Otherwise, they shouldn't answer their phone in the first place. That's my mindset. And you know, on a Sunday, I would say, "Hi, I know it's Sunday, but this is very important. Have a second to chat." You know, if you open the call like that, you should be fine. And most people say, yes, sure. You know, they're actually quite relaxed on a Sunday, and a lot of successful people are more likely to answer the phone on a weekend than during the week when they're very busy. So yes, I do calls pretty much every single day. And, you know, not everyone treats Sundays, you know, like a religious day. And those that do, they probably won't answer their phone anyway. So I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I would just go out there and I would just make calls and just make sure on a Sunday you just are a little bit more polite and ask them if they have a second to chat before you go into talking about business. I hope that helped. Amelia, do you want to close by saying anything else? We've got an amazing turnout, guys. Thank you so much. 20 plus people have logged on to this live call tonight. I'm going to upload this on YouTube and I'm going to send out the recording right now, as well as the link to the goal setting audio by Paula, which I highly recommend listening to tonight if you can. It's not long. It's only 15 minutes. Otherwise, it's very unlikely you'll do it because life gets in the way. So, Amelia, any closing comments?
Yeah, I think I can just say, like you encourage them to listen to Paula Prashad's video or recording about their goal setting and their vision boards. I would say that an important thing that you need to connect with every morning is your why. I know that we've spoke to you about your why. Why are you in this business? Why are you doing Jeunesse? Surely we all have our own motivations, our own goals, our own reasons, but it is your why that will help you to do what you need to do every day. And believe me, even myself, I need to connect with that why often, because we all do get discouraged along the way. You do get despondent when you get too many no's, but the key is just to carry on, do the calls consistently. It's like Paula said tonight, once again, that we are not in control of what other people decide to do in their lives, but we are in control of what we are doing. And I want to close with one thing. Years ago, I've been in a Benina business, Benina sewing machines, those of you that are known to sewing or know what sewing machines are. And the director there said, Derek Stevens, he said to us as dealers, that we cannot always control our macro environment, but we surely can control our micro environment. And that's something that stayed with me. So no matter what's going on in the news, what's going on in the world, we cannot control those things, but I can control what's happening in my environment. And that's an important thing, and that's something that stuck with me. And tonight Paula said it in a different way, and I think I needed to hear that as well, is that we cannot keep people in our business if they don't want to be there. If their why is not strong enough, they're not going to stay any case. I've got many people now. I mean, I'm now a Sapphire for quite a while, and I can promise you some of my people fell out of the business. It's happening. And sometimes we do get despondent, we do get discouraged by that. But once again, I'm in control of my own destiny. So I need to call more people, and I just need to replace those that are falling out of Jeunesse for some reason. Life gets in the way. They cannot do the business anymore, whatever their reasons are. But my why is strong enough, and I want to encourage you too. Even if you're only exec now and you had many no's, just carry on. Just stay focused, stay in contact with your goals and your why, and you will make a success.
Brilliant, Amelia. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, guys, thank you so much